Hello, everyone, and welcome back inside of Fallout 4. Nick here with Degenerate Gaming, and we are going to continue our walkthrough here today uh, on very hard difficulty. And we're going to get started by giving you the tour of Sanctuary and going over some loot and stuff you need to do, and then followed by a scrap and escapade that is probably going to be a very lengthy process, so I'm not going to probably record all of it. However, I will go over what I am going to do and then yeah, we'll go from there. To get started, um, this is our old house with Codsworth in front of it. Seeing as how I am the new king swinging dick of the neighborhood, and all this shit belongs to me now, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want. And over here we have the workshops. We have a weapons workbench where we're gonna be modding weapons. That will be later. As you can see, there's duct tape, typewriters, good toolbox with a couple of tools in it, shovel, and really that is the gist of things in here. We can loot, or excuse me, on the outside. There's a couple of things. Oil cans are always good. Oil is a very useful resource in modding armor. You're gonna want coffee pots, good for asbestos. And let's see. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot in this house. Um, you know, ooh, a couple bobby pins, that's good. Red dress. You're going to want to look for all the bobby pins you can, and you're going to want to do this and make sure that you loot everything before you start scrapping. The first time I played this game, I ended up scrapping everything and not paying attention to what exactly I was doing. You can scrap suitcases and end up not getting the contents inside. So, like that bobby pin and that dress, I would have missed. Um, but yeah, you have your power armor station, weapons workbench, and this is the actual workbench or the workshop. So occasionally, so in order to build things, you can do that. From here, you can come up here and hit X, or we'll exit out. You can also hold the, I don't even know what you call this big ass thing, the big pad in the middle of your controller, because I'm playing on PS4. Um, but yeah, so you can hold that there. And as you can kind of see that faint green in the back, that is kind of the border. And I'll move a little closer so you can see it right there. But we'll come back to all that here in a second. Once you move into a settlement, you have to find one of the workshops. And in order to build, you have to be free of enemies in order to access this. And you come here to access this. As you can see, we gain access to it, which means all the enemies are gone. And we can now start building in it. Uh, as you can see, it does have some stuff in here already, which is good. And we have quite a bit of stuff. So what we're going to do is hit triangle to store all junk. And we're going to lighten our load here a little bit. Security baton, we only need one. We only need one 10 mil pistol. And the Molotovs we don't need. Actually, we'll get rid of the security baton too. We don't need it. We don't need the wedding ring or the blue dress. And all of this stuff can kind of go in for now because all the enemies are gone. We're going to keep the bobby pins, all this mist stuff. This doesn't weigh anything. There's a couple of items that do, so every once in a while I do recommend going through there and kind of checking on things. And let's see, we'll go to the inventory. We're going to look at the couple of holotapes that we picked up. I have Red Menace here, and this is actually a game that there's, I want to say there's 10 of them, but as you can see, I'm not going to play it. I just wanted to show you guys that. There's 10 games inside the Fallout world you can actually play on your Pip-Boy, and a lot of them are like old school arcade games, which is pretty cool. And then we have this, which is from our wife. We'll listen to that while we go over here to the next
No,
house.
no, no. Little fingers away. There we go. Okay. Sean and I need to tell you how great of a father you are. But we're going to anyway. Isn't that right? You are kind and loving and funny. That's right. And patient. So patient. Patience of a saint, my mom used to say. Look, with Sean and us all being home together, it's been an amazing year. But even so, I know our best days are yet to come. There'll be changes, sure. Things we need to adjust to. You'll rejoin the civilian workforce, and I'll shake the dust off my law degree. But everything we do, no matter how hard, we do it for our family. Now, say goodbye, Sean. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Come on. Bye, honey. We love you.
Okay, and as you can see, this is what I mean. It pays to be thorough. While going through here, we would have missed out on 3 bobby pins, something else, a makeshift battery, and a used oil can. All very valuable things. So it was, it's a good thing to um, double check things. And even for somebody who's played through this once or twice, it's still easy to. There's so much shit laying everywhere that it's real easy to miss things. Getting started with our loot tour. As you can see, because we're going to kind of make this our new home base or house for the time being, because it has everything right there. There's these busted up, abandoned, broken down houses that are kind of just wrecked. You'll know these when you see them because you can't enter them. The roofs are usually collapsed. You can scrap those. We're going to do that here in a little bit when we do our scrapping escapade. But for starters, we're going to come down to this blue house to get started. And in this toolbox, there's always, in the few practice runs I did, there is always 7 bobby pins, and there's always something along the lines of duct tape or something else to make adhesives. Very valuable, especially early in the game. We're going to need to get all of that we can. Now, excuse my phone here. I'll just tone it down for you guys. That way you ain't got to hear it. But yeah, the toolbox, and this is the cook station. Now, we want to move this, so we're going to go into workshop mode. As you can see, we can highlight it, we can select it. And basically, we just drag it back to our house. That way, it's in close proximity to our house. And where shall we put it? We'll drop it right there. Also, it's worth noting in workshop, if you're playing on consoles, at least the PS4, that's what I'm playing on. You can use the right R2 and L2 buttons to rotate things, and we'll go into that a little bit more as time goes on. So that's that. And we're gonna scrap these tires. And this shit here, as you can see, it kind of goes. And it gives you certain different items that you can use. Okay, and we want to grab that, and we want to put it there. And we want to grab the cook station, and we'll put it up here. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to keep all of our workshops right up here. And there's one more that we need to go get. And it's going to come up here in a couple of different houses. The only time I'm really going to run back to our house is in order to move something like that. There's a lot of valuable different stuff in here that we need to get. These TV dinner trays, for instance, break down into aluminum, very valuable. Later in the game, you're going to want to keep that and grab all the other stuff. Found more bobby pins, and those are very useful early in the game, especially if this is your first playthrough. You're not going to be the best at picking locks, so don't, beat yourself up. We There's a little trick you can do to kind of help yourself save on bobby pins if you're absolutely terrible at it. I have my good and my bad days where some days I'm just on the spot and other days I just am terrible at it. So that's basically it for this house. Once you get out of this house, you're going to want to come down here to this mailbox, or not this mailbox, this trash can, excuse me. There's always 2 frag grenades and a psycho here, and I'll explain what psycho is here in a bit. This house, there's nothing. It's all busted up. The roof's caved in. It's inaccessible. And then this is the first Rad Roach house that we came to. Now, around the backside is your chemistry station. So we're going to want to move this back to our house and by the fast travel point. But while I'm here, go into workshop mode, you can see there's the big wall of green. That is the border of the settlement. So if I jump on the other side in workshop mode, as you can see, it'll auto exit in 5 seconds. Pick up that bag of fertilizer. We want to keep that. And we'll grab the wood crate. And we're going to move the chemistry station back to our house. And that'll keep everything right where we want it. It'll be close. We can fast travel in and out. And there's that. So that's all of our workbenches. Now it's getting dark, so we'll go loot one house and then we'll probably sleep until morning. Because at this point in time, we're not going to really operate in the dark too much. We need to be able to see what the hell we're doing. And there's, not lights or anything that's really going to make things any easier on us. Kitchen scale, make sure you want to grab that. There's a 10 mil pistol in the shower. That's always good to keep around, even though you're going to have a bunch of them at some point. Grab a pen, check the desk, nothing. Okay, there's a safe in this house, but as you can see, it has a makeshift bomb on it. You're going to want to disarm it before you unlock the safe. And another thing you can do, again, like I said, if you're not that great at picking locks, is basically quick save before you do it. And then if you fail, you can always reload if you're down to your last bobby pin or something. Wow, that one was pretty easy on it though. But pipe with pistol, 38 rounds, and some pre-war money. We take all that. There's also this terminal here, which we're gonna hack. And I'm gonna go over a little bit of hacking right now because it's worth experience. I don't know if the novice ones are, but definitely once you get into advanced and expert ones, you gain experience for hacking. So we have, this is perfect to explain it here. You have different letters that are going to have different things. So we have Dean and Beam. You can either guess. This is one way to go about it. As you can see, it's attempts remaining. You get 4. So we can attempt to guess here. and it'll tell us how many likenesses we have. And by what likenesses means, let's say I pick Dean and it says we have two likenesses. That means that we have two letters are in the two letters are correct and in the correct spot from the word that is the password. As you can see, it'd be Dean and Beam, it'd be the E and the A. You come down here and pick Beam, and bam, it unlocks. Now, that's one way to go about it. Another way to do it is to go here. Anything in parentheses or greater than symbols, you basically just scan line for line to make this easier on yourself. And if you hit this, it says dud removed, so then it just moves a word away. And even like this, where it's just, two right next to each other, it doesn't have to be anything in between. And again, here's another one, and these are all over the place. I've seen some with, a minimum of two, where they really haven't had a whole lot of stuff in them. There's another one. Um, and I've seen them with, some with 6 and 7 of them. Really, it all depends. It varies. Another thing to point out is that if you do get in a pickle and you start picking words, these also have a chance to reset your tries as well. So it's definitely beneficial to do this, and it's rather easy. Here's another big one, another dud removed. So what I usually do in hacking is I try to scan for all of these before I get started, because it makes things easier on you. As you can see, there's tries reset. It basically just, limits your options, makes your time easier on it anyways. Really, I mean, I've heard of people writing all the words down, but usually these are pretty simple to do. As you can see, we don't have too many words left. We have Dean, we have help, we have draw, we have late, we have from, and we have less. So basically, we're going to pick one here, and it says we have one likeness. Now that means it could either be help with an E, it could be less, or it could be draw. So we're going to go right over here, and it's not the D. Help, it's got one likeness again, which means that it is less.
Got it.
There we go. And we just leveled up. Now, you guys can read through this. I'm not gonna. Apparently, the guy who owned this house, he was a drug dealer at some point, or whether it was before the war or what, we don't really know. And there's a list. There's like basically just details, like a list of his customers and all that. You guys can read that shit on your own. I'm not going to do it. I've read it before. It's not something I feel like wasting my time with. But we leveled up, and the first thing we're going to want to do, and I know people are going to probably poo-poo this a little bit, for those of you who are watching. First thing we're going to grab is going to be locksmith. And we're going to level this up as fast as we can to level 3. Because there's a lot of safes and a lot of good things to miss out on. So we're going to hit that as quickly as we possibly can. Alright, and it's getting pretty dark out. Let's go into workshop mode. We're going to build us. We'll build it out here for now. We're going to build us a bed, and we're going to sleep till morning. Oops. Going to furniture, and into beds. We're going to make us a sleeping bag, just because it's cheap and efficient. And we're going to place that there. And we'll pick this up. This video is getting kind of long. We'll pick this up here in the next video, part 2 of our loot tour. So thank y'all for watching. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you right back here for more Fallout 4. Later.